GUG is a roguelike battler where you head to the amniotic pool and have a trait bestowed upon you by Mother Marula. Based on what you want, such as power, you get transformed into a stronger being with a distinct ability. After that, you have to take on the Slime King's army. Since my Scoosh does 7 damage, I put him in to kill the enemy GUG, and then brought in my GUG to beat up this rock. If there's no enemy to fight, you get cash equal to your attack power, and you can use that at the shop. And I swapped places so my GUG killed the last enemy, barely survived, and we move on to the shop. I went ahead and bought the Buffernulk and moved on to yet another battle. I emerged victorious and moved on to the first area boss, Blastula. I had to throw all my GUGs into this fight. I managed to kill the first wave at the cost of just one of my own. Brought my guys out to heal before watching in horror as a full row of enemies spawned in. They killed Buffernulk, and though Scoosh tried his best, he fell shortly after. So, it's back to the amniotic pool. I wish for myself and received the subscribe button for the channel, which you should press if you haven't so you can watch more videos. Sadly, the enemy I was up against ignored the first attack of every round, which made me perplexed on how to, kill him. I tried, but even fatal damage was instantly negated, so I'd say it's time for a new run. This time, I let the game decide what to give me, and the ability was not bad, but nothing particularly good. I threw him into battle, and as you can see, he got some more attack, so I had him earn some cash while the other GUG killed the second guy, who then, through the power of YouTube, can now link with and gain coins from an ally. He got the first kill, and I moved back to keep him alive. We then got the second kill, I then killed the rock, and then I let Mother Marilla take some damage for some reason, before I finished off the fight. Next fight had so many enemies, but upon killing just these 2, the battle ended, which was great for me. I then turned my final GUG into the Multi-Glob Sentry, and went into whatever this fight is. There were just so many enemies, and my 2 creatures certainly aren't gonna get this done. I killed a few, but there were just too many, and they managed to kill Mother Marilla, forcing us to start up a new run. We've got Morbilon now, who will insta-kill an enemy if he dies. Probably not the best trade for me, but he's decently strong, so we finished this off. I then bought a new GUG and threw him into battle against his brothers, where he neither thrived nor survived. And I was able to kill Blastula, but my only creature is pretty damaged, so this extra health has got to go a long way. And his new trait is terrible, so that's great. This guy's gonna jump to the right, so I anticipated this and killed him. But it isn't possible for me to guard against all 4 of them, so this battle is lost. I went ahead and let the game pick again, and it gave me Slurp Tongue, which has a mediocre ability. Oh, never mind. It didn't like that, so we've actually got Glupasot instead. I brought him in, but he didn't give them any extra health. And then I lost one of my guys, so let's just try out Explosion. No. No! That's not helpful. All allies take damage. Alright, great, yep, thanks game. Okay. Craziest thing, we've somehow ended up back at the amniotic pool. I don't even know how, we definitely didn't lose that last run or anything. Now we've got Glooperbold with a very interesting power. Oh, nope, transcending error. Clearly, Mother Marilla knew that would not work well for us, so now, we've got him, but he just gets more health each turn. And there he goes, from 10 to 12. And with the money earned from that battle, I got another friend, before losing him in the next battle alongside my only other GUG, and then Gloop. So I ascended a new GUG with a very bad power because 3 health is already pretty low. I then also finally realized how rocks work. I performed cash on the right side, while he blocked the only remaining enemy. Eventually I hit the round limit and they forced me to move on. Where I then fought an enemy with no design because he was clearly trying to be stealthy and hide from us. I then bought the 2 shop GUGs and made a fatal mistake. I sent my bullet lump from 13 all the way down to 3 health. Now I did manage to kill Blastula with him, but he's essentially a one-shot kill. Hopefully, Morbilon will save him when he inevitably dies. Now there was another pool right after, so I changed my 3 health setter, and now all he does is add some attack and health instead, which is much, much better. I then moved on to the Bismuth Desert, where we met Satamas, who gains 100 attack, and therefore requires me to sacrifice one of my allies. I stacked blow it, and luckily, the rock blocked the other one so I could just farm the rest of this round. I then changed GUG to the only things that are certain in life: death and taxes. And then I met Seda again, and had to throw away one of my only 2 GUGs in order to survive. I wanted someone who was as shocked as I was at these recent events, so I got a GUG actually named What? With all 6 T's included. And let me tell you, he looks like someone who would say it like that. I arrived at the next boss, and he threw out 2 more Sadamances, so, yeah. This run is over. And there were even more behind him, so what really could I have done to have won this? Maybe simplicity is key. Asking for GUG got me a creature who will destroy any enemy and steal its power. Unfortunately, they need to be in the main area, because that back row isn't affected. But when they are, it works great. And I even got some money, since that didn't even end the round. I then fumbled the run once again, by accidentally swapping him in, killing the rock, and unlocking the enemy behind him. I mean, I killed it, but I was still pretty annoyed at this. I then bestowed Ruin upon my last base GUG, allowing him to damage all the enemies on the battlefield. But with Mother Marilla close to death, and one of the enemies having a massive 48 health, this run was sadly over. The one thing I truly needed is help. But this certainly won't be enough of it, and the game didn't even generate a picture for him, so that's how you know it's going to end badly. I had the GUG kill his enemy since he has more health now, and then I brought Glob in to kill the other guy. Except he has a shield, so all the damage failed to land, meaning that he's now heavily injured. So, I reset even though we did win on time. Now at this point, morale within the army was getting pretty low, so I decided to give the daily challenge a try instead for a nice change of pace. I grabbed Blubedge and took out the first enemy, which brought Jibblejunk into the fight, who proceeded to spawn a 25 by 25 enemy in front of me. I killed Jibble, but his minion stayed alive, meaning that this is a loss. I wanted this power, but trying to get it got me something far worse, which meant that we couldn't kill him. So I tried again, and once again I failed to gain his power, and also to kill him. So, I went ahead and I tried again, and I failed for the 3rd time, and lost. So instead, I asked for insta-kill, and I finally got exactly what I wanted. This time, I had him attack the 25er, and my GUG attacked Jibble. He killed it, but since the GUG couldn't, he spawned in another one. So next time, I sacrificed the GUG first, and then with Jibble dead, I sacked him as well, and it counted as a win, so I was given 2 new GUGs, and I moved on to round 2. The next enemy created minions who were permanently glitched into the back row, so they didn't attack me, and they actually blocked Jibble from moving in to attack me as well, since it does seem like he's going to be here on every level. As a result, I farmed cash and moved on, where I paid $5 for 60, and then another $10 for 38, which is a great deal for me. I also grabbed some health and killed a few enemies on the shop, and then I grabbed some new GUGs, and just to clear out the shop, I spent a few bucks to actually lose 1 attack. The next enemy filled one of my spots with an ally, and then Jibble appeared again and spawned in another 25 attack token. So I had to sacrifice a few of my GUGs in order to survive the encounter. I grabbed another GUG and some health and attack at the next shop, and turned him into the killer. Another round where they keep spawning non-damaging minions, so I healed my guys up, and met my unfortunate fate in the next battle. This time, Jibble was permanently forced to stay in the back row, so he just kept on spawning enemies in, so I was very quickly killed. I feel like the game was kind of against me here. This isn't really my fault. There's not really anything I can do. I don't really blame myself here. If anything, this is the game's fault, not mine. Remember that. Regardless, this is going to be the end for today. I'm not sure if I just failed to discover some of the really good transformations, or if this game is just very, very tough. But I really just felt like I had no chance in some of these fights. But like all roguelikes, the key to victory is knowledge. So I'll have to keep collecting in order to discover the best powers, so that I can take out the Slime King's army, and I don't know, rule the world, something like that? Who knows? Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Feel free to let me know what you want me to play next. If you have any good GUG combinations, comment that down below so I know what to try. And most importantly, have a great rest of your day. Bye.